Hello YouTube, it's your girl Kimberly. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. In this video, I'm going to give my 2 cents on whether or not I am boycotting E.l.f. after their last hullabaloo controversial situation that never needed to happen. But if you want to know more, keep watching. Thanks so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. I am on the road to hitting 5,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. I cannot get this done without you. I appreciate you clicking on my video. It means so much. And I don't want you to miss out on my next video. So please hit that subscribe button. We need you, okay? Beauty, tech, travel, hair, nails, skincare, pop culture stuff sometimes, but not really. We talk about it all here, and I want you to be here with us. So please subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like the video, and hit the notification bell if you want to be first to know when I post a new video or when I go live. Okay, so I'm going to give you the shortest, fastest version about what happened with E.l.f. because at this point it's old and there's a lot of people who already covered it. E.l.f. had a campaign. They hired a comedian whose most famous joke is about domestic violence victims. The internet gave backlash and said, what are you doing? We're boycotting you. E.l.f. gave a non-apology saying we're shutting down the little fake law firm that was in the commercial. And then that was the end of it. For me personally, once I saw the commercial, I was like, okay, what is going on? Because I don't know the politically correct way to communicate this, but lately I do not know if things are real, a publicity stunt. But when I initially first see something, I then have to go down the rabbit hole of researching to see, is it real? Who posted it? Who posted it first? Where did it originate from? Is it on the company website? Because I'm just like, is this a skit? Is it fake? Like, is it AI? Like, I have to see if it's real. And that is the first thing I did. So I was scrolling on TikTok, seen the ad. I was like, this might be fake. I'm going to their website. Stuff's on the website. It's on multiple, it's on TikTok, it's on their Instagram page. It's everywhere. I'm like, so this is real. That's crazy. Especially because E.l.f. has done so many campaigns about like not having enough women CEOs in companies and how they want to invest in underserved communities and all these different opportunities and things they want to have, and featuring diverse models in their campaign ads. But this was crazy. And the fact that they had him standing next to a drag queen legend at that, it's like, are you dumb? But nonetheless, saw that, was very upset, very disappointed, and immediately was like, I'm boycotting E.l.f. They're out of here. I'm done with them. And I don't want to say it's disingenuous, but in real life, the only E.l.f. product that I really, really love are the lip oils. Everything else is just okay. Like, I'll buy it sometimes, I'll use it sometimes. What used to happen was I used to shop in Target, who I'm still boycotting. Haven't been to Target since the boycott started. But normally what happens is lost makeup, didn't bring all the makeup. I end up in a Target on a trip on the road in a town that's not mine. I'm not buying high-end replacement makeup. Like, no. So then that's how I usually end up at the E.l.f. section. Now I do it at Ulta, but same. I end up in the E.l.f. section because, you know, I just want the things and I don't want to pay a lot of money. And I love E.l.f. brushes, right? So that is what I normally do. Now with this E.l.f. boycott, at first I'm just like, okay, it's just the lip oils, I'll let it go. But then I remembered how much I love the brushes, and I was like, what other brand is doing the cheap brushes? I mean, Morphe's bringing brushes back, but it's still not E.l.f. brush price. Like, whenever anybody asks me for a makeup brush recommendation, I used to always say E.l.f. And then the next thing I thought of was, E.l.f. is not the only brand E.l.f. owns. E.l.f. owns Naturium. And this is my favorite body wash. And I use a lot of other skincare products from Naturium. Naturium was also started by an Asian woman. So now I'm like, can I never get my favorite body wash ever again? Is that what this means? But why should she take a L because of what e.l.f. did? And it's like, that makes it a little harder to think about. So I have taken a pause. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm definitely taking a pause from e.l.f. brand proper. e.l.f. I'm not buying anything. I never bought anything from the Alicia Keys brand, and I never bought anything from Rhode, so that's fine. Really, the conundrum is Naturium. That is where I'm like, this is hard. So I do have some other body washes that are kind of similar, and I could just get those, but I just feel like Naturium is catching a stray a little bit, and I know that people already feel like the brand Naturium is problematic because of how the owner didn't founder, because of how the founder didn't disclose she was a part of the brand, but then she was doing reviews for the brand, but she apologized for that. So that was her one mistake. So then I gave her that grace. You know, people aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. So if you make a mistake and you apologize, then you know we can move forward from there. Unfortunately, e.l.f. needed to talk to her to learn about how to apologize, because that non-apology was really disrespectful. It was really sad. This whole shock jock marketing strategy that some beauty brands are using and some retail brands, I don't think they realize how stressed out people are and how much drama is happening and how much the world is a crazy place right now, and it's just not a good time for your shenanigans. Like, not a good time. So I'm really disappointed in e.l.f. Like I said, taking a pause from buying Naturium because I still feel like the brand is kind of catching a stray, but it's also like you're connected with e.l.f., so you're a part of the monster. And the CEO, chief marketing officer, someone in leadership from e.l.f. did an interview with like Beauty Insider or some magazine, maybe it was The Cut, and basically we're like, oh, his analytics say young women like him. And I'm like, that's all it takes? So someone can make jokes about abuse, murder, attacks, all that kind of stuff, and just because their analytics say some women look at it, that's all y'all need? Like, let's get it together. We have to. And they have had 24 consecutive months of positive growth for their business, and they threw it all away on a campaign for some guy who we're not even going to be talking about 5 years from now. He like won't even be a thing. There'll be a new shock and awe comedian on whatever new social media platform we're using at the time, since TikTok will be gone. Like, this makes no sense to me that e.l.f. turned its back on its women customers like this. Or not even just women, human beings who don't think that's something to joke about. You could tell jokes about anything. You do not have to joke about people's pain. And the thing is, it wasn't even a good joke. It wasn't even funny. So we'll see. I'm very, very disappointed in e.l.f. Taking a pause shopping Naturium. So thank goodness I bought a full bottle before this whole scandal happened. So I'll enjoy this one. I do like the Sun by Me AHA BHA body wash, so that might just be my replacement. But it's so sad that this is the state of the world. And I don't want to say everybody's products are the same, because I do know that teams take a lot of time to put research and development and marketing information behind each product. So I do think that each company is like coming up with their own idea of how they want to approach these common products. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to the brass tacks of it all, a lip oil is a lip oil, a skin tint is a skin tint, a loose powder is a loose powder, and we have other companies that are options. NYX, Wet Wild, Essence, LA Girl, Black Radiance, Thread, Thrive, Maybelline, L'Oreal, Revlon, Rimmel, Number 7, like the list goes on and on and on of drugstore. MCO Beauty, new to the game, Revolution. When it comes to drugstore cosmetics, there's so many companies. So why make this kind of choice? Like, why? It just doesn't make any sense. And the idea that there was a room full of people and it was like, yeah, like that's still wild to me, because not one person was like, let me Google schmoogle or figure out, especially when they were in the part where they had multiple people in the running, because you know you don't just have like one actor or one comedian going to be in the ad. You're researching, looking at different people, working with maybe a booking agency or something like that, and like, who were the other options? Who were the other options? And why did the people in the room, why was everybody in the room so comfortable with a domestic violence joke? That's another thing. Like, y'all are bad people. One person didn't catch it, like, maybe not him, maybe somebody else. And then also separately, my own 2 cents on this one, this whole thing with the legal shtick for the e.l.f. commercials is done. That Super Bowl commercial with Judge Judy had to be over a year ago. Like, find something new, come up with a new idea. You cannot keep doing the same. I understand what they're trying to do. The way that Geico had like that long series of like specific to phrases, but like reenacted in real life as a joke, and then they had that, like the caveman and the it's hump day. I think they're trying to do that where they have like a string of themes of commercials, but cut it now. It's not working. Get new ideas, start off fresh. There's so many different campaigns that e.l.f. can do, especially since they're an affordable brand. They can have all kinds of like secular, everyday, in the zeitgeist kind of jokes that other companies who are targeted to older consumers might not be able to do. You could reenact memes, things that people already decided is funny. Like, we all went off on this whole, there's an axolotl on the pink stairs thing. Like, turn that into a commercial. Just like, well, I guess they don't want to use other people's intellectual property because then they have to pay them, and they don't want to pay people nowadays, but not them specifically, but companies in general. So I don't know, just so heartbreaking, so sad. And I feel like every day there's a brand that I like that is just getting cut. At this point, it feels like America's Next Top Model, and the picture, and it's like a line of all the stores I shop at and like all the brands, and they're slowly disappearing because of their inappropriate commercials or being hateful towards like underrepresented groups of people. So like Target got cut, now e.l.f. Like, I'm already trying to decrease my shopping at other brands because I feel like sometimes they do something that's good, but then they double back and do something that's bad. So very disappointed. We'll see how this turns out. I'm wondering, they're coming up right now with like another campaign to, and they already raised the price. That was another thing I forgot about. So they raised the price and they had this tacky commercial. So maybe they don't get a second chance. Maybe this is it for e.l.f. But what about Naturium? I gotta figure it out. Let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this whole controversy. If you made a decision, are you in a boycott? Do you think it's not that serious? Is there an e.l.f. cosmetic product that you just love so much you can't live without, so you're not going to boycott them and hope that they do better next time? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's really talk about this one, y'all. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.